I don't know, who's it favoring?
I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older now or what, but I feel like Gervonta is a hell of a fighter, but he needs to get his mental together. When I hear some of his interviews and I see some of the stuff that he's saying, I can just tell that he's not in love with the sport no more. I can tell that he didn't get it.
Would you like to see Gervonta face next after this?
I would like to see Gervonta fight for a world title.
Against who?
Is he at 135, right?
135, 140.
I was only one champ at 135, and that's Devin Haney.
Tank has faced plenty of criticism over the years, but one of his harshest critics isn't another male boxer, it's Claressa Shields. The two-time Olympic gold medalist and undisputed champion across several divisions hasn't been shy about her opinions on Tank. She's always felt he's been overrated, believing the boxing world has given him more praise than he actually deserves. After Tank's controversial draw with Lamont Roach, she spoke up once again.
Something to say once again.
I mean,
we gotta think before we.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I think that Tank is a great fighter and Roach is a great fighter, and they both had a good fight. I think Tank is going through things that we don't know that he's going through mentally, so that's why I kind of like don't want to. I think that whenever I say something about him, it goes viral, and then they make it a way for us to beef or whatever.
Pile on.
Yeah, and it's more of like I ain't got to be friends with him, but I don't hate the dude, and I wish him well. I think that if he get his mental together, he'll fight better.
Remember,
Fans expected Tank's fight with Lamont Roach to be another strong victory, but it didn't turn out that way. Instead, viewers saw a shaky performance that left many wondering if Tank was truly as great as people claimed. Claressa Shields didn't waste any time jumping in with her thoughts. Right after the fight, she commented, "Might be the perfect time for Tank to finally get that therapy he wanted. If he can get his mind right, he can get back in the game." This wasn't just a random dig. Shields was well aware of Tank's past comments about therapy and how it could help him cope with the pressures of boxing. Throwing it back at him after such a questionable performance was a sharp, deliberate shot aimed straight at Tank.
Never laced up, and you think Shakur got to prove something to you. You sound stupid. Go glove up first. I done seen that boy do some miraculous things inside of the gym. Beat guys up from his weight class all the way up to 178.
Because you know the big one, they want, Shakur and Tank. That's the one everybody talking about. That's the one they want. Tank
is mad at me, boy, and that lead up.
And you gonna go crazy and that?
Yeah, we call him.
Wasn't about to let Claressa's comments slide. It didn't take long for him to hit back, saying, "How's some woman boxer going to think she can take down a male professional boxer? The fact that some grown woman can think that is one reason why I don't even have something to say. Can't start throwing words with a deluded woman." True to his style, Tank was direct, dismissive, and ready to turn up the heat, but if there's one thing Claressa Shields isn't, it's someone who backs down. She's been saying for years that she could beat male boxers, including Tank. She sparred and trained with them, and has always made it clear that she thinks many, including Tank, wouldn't stand a chance against her. She's been firm about this stance for a long time. Back in 2019, she boldly claimed she could take down Keith Thurman and even challenged Gennady Golovkin, saying she could give him a real fight. She wasn't just talking for attention, she truly believes it. When it comes to Tank, her opinion is even sharper. To her, he's a smaller fighter she could easily break down with her superior skills and experience. She's been outspoken about the size difference being overhyped. "I spar with men all the time. I drop them, I bust their noses," she once said in an interview. Claressa wasn't claiming she could beat every man, but she was confident that certain fighters, like Tank, weren't as unbeatable as they seemed.
Would you actually would you still favor Gervonta over Too Strong right now, and why?
No, I mean, it'll be a real good fight, but like I said, Tank got a lot of stuff that Keyshawn had to go against, but Keyshawn got something that you can't take, and that's that self-belief in himself. He got that dog, he got good chin. He coming to fight you, he don't care what you're doing. Like, that's a dangerous fighter who's not scared to lose, who's willing to go out on a shield. Keyshawn's a hard fighter to beat.
Isn't the first time Claressa Shields and Tank Davis have clashed. Their rivalry has been brewing for years, with plenty of back and forth on social media. Last year, things got especially personal when Tank insulted Claressa's appearance, calling her a French bulldog. She didn't hold back in her response, hitting him where it hurt by bringing up his past legal issues. "I'm so happy you think I look like a French bulldog because you only beat up TH."
Tank. I am so happy that you think
I look like a French bulldog and you consider me ugly.
Claressa Shields has never been shy about sharing her thoughts on how Tank carries himself in boxing. She's been vocal about how much of his success can be credited to having Floyd Mayweather by his side. To her, Tank was never self-made. He was guided, protected.
That father made them box. I had to box. I had to get myself out of my situation. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was coming to, I didn't say I'm gonna be this
champion.
Yeah, undisputed champion. Nigga, I was saying I need to get money. I need to get out of my situation. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing why I say, like, once I get to, while I'm at this level, like, it's no point, like, it's no more point to prove to myself. Cause I already, you feel me?
And built up by one of the greatest boxers of all time. She even said, if you ain't had Floyd right there holding your hand, I don't know where you'd be at. That was a sharp jab, hitting Tank right where it hurt, especially since one of the biggest criticisms of him is that he hasn't faced the toughest competition and has been carefully managed through his career. What really seems to bother Claressa Shields the most is how people treat Tank like he's untouchable. She's made it clear that she doesn't buy into that myth. The Roach fight only gave her more fuel for her argument. A draw against a fighter most believed Tank should have easily beaten? To Shields, that was all the proof she needed that Tank isn't as great as people think he is, when she made. It seems like Claressa Shields isn't letting the controversy around Tank's fight with Lamont Roach Jr. die down anytime soon. To her, the whole situation just confirmed what she's believed for years. Tank may be a dangerous fighter, but he's also just another pretty boy of the sport, hyped up beyond his actual worth. What bothered her even more was that Tank was making excuses. She took particular issue with him complaining about
So it'd be like, when he went that route, and I've been like an advocate for him, like when he got into the trouble, I didn't share nothing.
grease in his hair affecting his performance. Grease? You worried about grease? A lot of boxers fight with blood in their eyes, she shot back. To Shields, it was laughable that someone with Tank's reputation was even bringing up something like that. This was supposed to be the most feared knockout artist in boxing, the guy who could knock anyone out with one punch. And now, he was talking about his hair? She made it clear that real fighters push through. The feud between Claressa Shields and Tank Davis has already been intense, but it seems like this time, it's reached a whole new level. Shields isn't just calling out Tank, she's dismantling his entire reputation, piece by piece. With major names like Shakur Stevenson and Terence Crawford backing up her views, the noise around this isn't going away anytime soon. Ironically, none of what Shields is saying can truly be seen as hate. As much as she's attacking Tank, there's a lot of truth in her arguments. What fans really seem to dislike is her confidence when it comes to challenging male boxers. That's what's ruffling feathers, the fact that Claressa Shields didn't stop with just the initial criticism. The two-time Olympic gold medalist kept breaking down the fight, explaining why she thought Lamont Roach had done enough to win. While one judge had Tank winning 150.
Can bang, can box, and I think that he's a better boxer than Tank. Now, is he a knockout artist? No. But that fight, Shakur got enough power and the skill set to where he can offset some stuff with Tank. Tank knows that. And if Shakur's so easy to beat, Tank should just fight him.
To 113 and the others had it even at 114 to 114, Shields firmly believed Roach deserved the victory. She pointed out that the knee Roach took should have been counted as a knockdown. Shields argued she wasn't the only one who felt this way. Many in the boxing world agreed that the referee made a mistake by not calling it a knockdown. She also reminded everyone that if Tank had been Claressa Shields wasn't the only one who had something to say after the fight. Shakur Stevenson had been waiting for a moment like this. He quickly took to X, formerly Twitter, gloating, "I made at least 20k tonight on Lamont." Even Terence Crawford got involved, not one to hold back when it comes to Tank. After the fight, Crawford bluntly stated, "Roach won," and added that the moment should have been called a knockdown. "Let's see what happens," he said. Crawford, like Shields, saw the situation as another example of how boxing politics often work in favor of certain fighters. Tank, however, wasn't interested in taking advice from Shields, Stevenson, Crawford, or anyone else. He shot back, "You're just some haters," dismissing the criticism. But Shields wasn't finished.
Are you really that good or not? The cream is going to rise to the top regardless. So even though your career is manufactured, you still got to go out there and win. Even though you're getting these opportunities, you still got to make them count. Every opportunity they gave to Tank, Most of the time it ended in a knockout. So he made it count. The thing is, the entire time he was a protected fighter the entire time. So now you're at the mountaintop, people looking at you like you Floyd Mayweather, you Pernell, you Roy, like you pound for pound. They're looking at you like you are a real.
Or was Shields just playing mind games? She may have been making sure her criticisms appeared fair before she went back to dismantling him once again. It's always a delicate dance with Shields, nothing is ever as straightforward as it seemed. The video showed a man approaching Tank Davis, initially acting like a fan, but then quickly switching gears and trying to bait him into a street fight. This wasn't just a random challenge, it was pure clout chasing.
All the talk throughout the years, what you would do against somebody like Tank, your style versus his, was that not the blueprint? And can you not do 10x that?
I'm not even going to shit on him, but look, I want some money tonight. That's all I'm happy for. I want money tonight.
Shakur, tell us something, bro. Like, what did you think about the
I ain't
decision?
going to shit on him.
Okay.
We still got to see each other. He say he want to fight me, so we going to fight.
But what do you think about the decision?
I told him I won.
Told him on one. Got you.
The guy was looking for a viral moment, hoping to prove something, but Tank wasn't having it. He knew better. Davis didn't engage, didn't react, and didn't entertain the guy at all. Eventually, the man gave up and walked away, throwing out a half-hearted, "God bless, man," as if that somehow made his behavior any less pathetic. Claressa Shields doesn't often agree with Tank Davis, but when she came across that viral footage of Tank refusing to engage in a street fight, she had something different to say. For once, it wasn't outright criticism. Instead, Shields used the moment to make a bigger point, one that, clearly making sure people understood that, unlike Tank, she wouldn't have walked away. She wasn't defending Tank, but rather drawing a clear line between them. She wanted people to know that while Davis might
I don't think Pitbull deserves a rematch.
Really? So the fight wasn't as good that you could do a rematch?
It was one of Tank's better fights, not his best fight. Does that mean they ranked a rematch?
But that's probably his toughest opponent that he's had.
That's the thing with Shields, she never just says things at face value. Even when it looks like she's being neutral, there's always a deeper meaning behind her words. She made it clear that she has no patience for people treating professional fighters like they're NPCs in a video game, expected to fight on command just because someone approaches them. "I'm going to piece him up. Just sign his waiver," she tweeted. That last part wasn't just about random street fights, it was a pointed shot at Tank. Shields was saying that she wouldn't need an excuse to throw hands. And that's been one of her biggest criticisms of Davis, that he doesn't always stand his ground when the situation calls for it. She's all about handling business when necessary, without making excuses.
Ryan, you're just fast, Ryan.
I will literally hit you in your temple so bad you won't even know what hit you.
Okay, Ryan, so when you going to come do it?
No, it'll be there smelling salt.
I'm asking a question. Because I got a boxing ring at my gym, and if you
got dropped by a no name.
Ryan, you talking about something that was 5 years ago. I'm happy you brought that up. I'm glad you brought it up.
Shields sees Tank as someone who gets too many excuses, and she wasn't about to let this situation slip by without subtly making that clear. It ties back to what she's been saying about him for a while now. She doesn't view him as the monster that many of his fans do. To Shields, he's just another boxer who's been overhyped, protected, and given way too much leeway to make excuses. And that's exactly how she felt about his reaction to the Lamont Roach Jr. fight. For Shields, Tank's handle.
And if he's to be successful, how would he do that?
To be Tank?
Yeah.
Now you want me to give somebody the game plan on how to be Tank?
You'll be a great trainer because you have the skills.
Don't like me, so I ain't gonna get nobody the recipe.
After that fight ended in a draw, Tank had a lot to say about what went wrong. He wasn't happy about the judging, and he wasn't happy about Roach's tactics. To Shields, that was just another excuse, another way for Tank to avoid taking full responsibility, and she wasn't having it. But Shields wasn't just talking about the Roach fight, she was making a broader point about Davis himself. This wasn't about one bad night, this was about how she's always seen him. Shields has never been shy about saying that. She believes she could beat Tank in a fight, and that's not just trash talk, she genuinely believes it. If anything, she believes she should get
Gervonta Davis, right?
What's good, brother? Hey, man, I was just trying to catch a friendly fade with you. I know you do all that boxing shit. You feel me? For some money. I got money. You ain't throwing no money. Like, your little fade. Something that's not orchestrated on live TV, but just on some hood shit. I put belt to ass. Well, God bless, man. It looked like you're turning down the fade. God bless. Jesus is good. Whatever you worship, Buddha, all that. I'm a Zoe. God bless everybody. Y'all look very uncomfortable. It's not that deep. All right, bye.
For years, Claressa Shields has viewed Tank Davis as a fighter who's too small, too hyped, and not nearly as invincible as his fans believe. She's made it clear that, in her mind, Tank isn't someone who dominates opponents, he's someone who gets favorable matchups. And when he finally struggles, instead of owning it, he looks for excuses. That's what made this moment so interesting. On the surface, it looked like Shields was standing up for Tank, calling out people who try to challenge professional.
The big one, they want, Shakur and Tank. That's the one everybody talking about. That's the one they want. Tank
is mad at me, boy, and that lead up.
You gonna go crazy and that?
Y'all be calling me ugly for real then?
Do you think that's a 50-50?
I'm not gonna ever dismiss a fighter. I think that Tank got some great skills and got some hard ass punches.
Mm-hmm.
He's so explosive, but so is Shakur.
Yeah.
Shakur has, to me, faced harder.
Tank said something to me. I said something to him. He said something back to me. I said something back to him. He got angry. And that's what it is. I'm a fan of his boxing. He's a great boxer. Needs to fight more stiff competition for sure. But hey, he's great in his own right. He's a knockout artist. And we're entitled to our own opinion, our own thoughts, our own feelings. And I just, he said something to me. I said what I said back. It is what it is. I ain't got nothing against it. Hey, man, I'm all about positivity and prosperity, baby. I ain't got nothing against nobody. What do a woman gotta do to get to where Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia and Canelo are at? What else can I do as a woman fighter? I beat everybody. I said that in the article. I fought the best. 3-time undisputed. 3 division world champ. I fought at 68, 60, and 54. Beat the best that there was at the weight classes. What else? Listen to me. What else can I do to become the
I thought I did enough to get the victory over a spectacular fighter. I told y'all from the beginning, man, that I got the skills to beat him.